start with a few opening comments, and then we will move into questions. As we mentioned, we only have an hour here for the whole thing today because we're meeting at 2 o'clock for the players, so I'll stop talking soon and we'll get going. But let Coach out here by no later than 1:25, 1:30. Thanks.
We're excited, fellas. Ladies. We've been working a long time, and we can continue to work a long time and probably not be exactly where we want to be administratively. It's just time to get out there and start practicing. I think our guys have, they worked really hard this summer, and I think they're in really good shape to start with, not in football shape. Nobody can be in football shape until you start playing football. And so that's, part of the fall camp process as well. And so we're excited to get out there and get after it. Couple roster things before we get started. You guys know that Jamie Bryant is at the medical, which is unfortunate for him, for us. Did a really nice job in spring. We're really excited. He's back. Just one of those things. Wasn't going to hold up. Didn't really have any issues in high school. Started flaring up in the spring ball. Did some medical work on him, and it was one of those things. Just like this could be bad if he keeps playing. So he will not be back. Marcus Ferrier has been dismissed from the team. That's what he said. Just violation of team standards. Aaron Chapman has a knee issue going on. We're still evaluating that, seeing if he's going to be back this fall or not. Good there. Late arrival, Vita Bay, defensive lineman, excited about. Good move for a long time. That being said, any questions you guys have?
What was the decision on Barrio?
Last week.
Coach, could you explain a little bit about splitting up the freshmen and the veterans and practices and policies on that?
So we've done that quite often. I think most of our years, we've kind of opened our fall practices, kind of splitting our team in half. And in the past, we've done it for about 4 practices, 4 days. So the kids get singles, coaches get double days. Coaches can't stand it, except for me. I like it because they just get so much work. So we're able to slow things down a little bit, teach better, not worry about so many reps. They're going to get reps by us just cutting in half. And so it's worked pretty well for us. And so this year, we're going to go our first 2 practices with our helmets, divide them up, really get into that teaching process. We never want to get away from being those great teachers, but we just think when the team's split in half, we can do that. Usually by the end of that, in the way we did in the past, where the kids were really tired and they weren't out even after they got the reps. So we're trying to find that happy medium, that balance there.
Coach, what's the one more addition to the roster? They that was recruited a couple years ago.
Vita Bay.
Can you talk about him?
So he's what we just spoke about. He's a kid that, out I think a year ago or so. We've been recruiting the last year, and finally we were able to get him in.
You talked about getting the players settled, oriented, and ready. Talk a little bit about the same thing with your staff. Are they all settled and oriented?
Yeah, I think it's hard for us to say we're all settled. I just think it takes a year. I mean, we know this process. We've been doing it for a long time, but when you go to a new place and get everybody on the same page, from winter conditioning to spring football to their summer conditioning, how we do that, and fall camp, it's all just a little bit different. We've done it a certain way, and kind of blend some of the ways that have been done in the past. And so it's kind of a new thing. I think it takes a full year of the cycle for just the same times in the season that it'll take for everybody to feel like, okay, I've been through this, I know what to expect. And then for us to be able to, tweak things that might work a little bit better for us.
Who's getting the first reps at QB tomorrow with the first team?
That is a great question. I don't even know. That's how important I think it is, or don't think it is. All these guys are going to get reps. We'll divide the quarterbacks up into 2 and 2. I believe Jeff and Troy will go in the morning for the first 2. KJ and Sada will go in the afternoon. So that's the hard one right there. It's like, how do you get your quarterbacks all these reps that they need when you're trying to look at all these guys? And so that's gonna be tricky all through fall camp, but we're gonna continue just to evaluate it day by day to tell you the truth.
So just because Sally goes with the newcomers tomorrow and Tuesday, is that right, in the afternoon you're saying?
Yeah, so he'll go, and again, we're gonna have some, some guys that have been here.
Right,
that
right.
provide the numbers. We need some older guys that know how it kind of goes a little bit to even function, and so Siler will go, he'll go on the,
How behind is Siler in understanding and learning the offense because he missed one ball?
how well do you know our offense?
Barely.
Yeah, that's where Siler is. So. Yeah, it's, he's behind, and, I think he's done some things as much as he can, after swing ball to get caught up. And, that's a lot of meeting time, that's a lot of practice time, that's a lot of reps. Now, he's had these concepts, a lot of them, some of them might be renamed and those type of things, and that's such a detailed position, it's gonna take him a while to really, process that, but, it's hard, he missed a lot.
Chris, how much can you attribute to what Sark left you with maybe how quickly you were able to hit the ground running this time?
In terms of left with what?
Just in terms of the program in general, what you might have had to bring with you in order to kind of what you wanted to instill. How much was maybe already here, so you didn't necessarily could maybe a little faster?
Like I said, I think Coach Sark and those guys did a really good job. I think we all know that, from where he came into where it is. But I will say this, everybody does things so differently that it just feels, and I think you ask these players, it just feels like something completely different and foreign, even though maybe the styles on offense and defense are similar, and even if, a quarter or half of the verbiage is the same, we try to incorporate as much as we can so they didn't have to learn as much. But there's just so many things that are different, from lifting weights and how our meetings goes and everything. So, hey, they did a great job in this program building this thing up, but I think it is different to the kids, and it's different to everybody, and we're behind. I've been saying that from the start. We're the only new staff in the Pac-12, and because we came in late, we put our guys behind, and so every day, every practice, and every meeting is just critical that we're all locked in.
You mentioned earlier, that you kind of looked at this transition between you and your staff. You stick to a lot of the processes that someone did before. You're a few months into this now. Is there any significant deviation on your part? You've seen some things that, well, we're going to tweak this, change that, change this.
Well, we're always tweaking and changing. I think that's part of, what good coaches do. They don't get stuck in their ways where it's like, always, is this the best practices? Is this the best way? So we're always, evaluating as we go along. But with that being said, we really believe strongly in our process. It's worked for us, and we know it'll work here. Now, process takes time. It does. And you can't snap your fingers and walk in and say, this is how we do it, guys, and everybody has it ready to break. It just doesn't happen like that. So it's always going to be working. We're such believers in the process, and that's the secret sauce. It's the process. And everybody has their way, but if you can stick to your way, your guns, your beliefs, your principles, and not get derailed, I think you're going to have success.
Can you talk about maybe, in the spring you said you guys wanted a seating chart rather than a depth chart.
Yeah.
How far away are we from seeing a realistic depth chart?
Yeah, and I would like that to be, still a couple weeks. I think certain guys have been around, played a lot of ball, and so we need to get things organized. We got our seating chart, but would I like it for one of these young guys to be able to knock off an older guy that's been here? Yeah, I would. I think that's good for all of us. That's competition. That keeps things healthy. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Time will tell. But I think we want to give everybody give them a chance to compete and really earn and fight for their positions.
If there were one or two things in this training camp you have to accomplish, what are your priorities right now?
Well, I think it's first and foremost, I don't know, there's one or two things, it's everything, but it's really how we practice, our mindset. The practice is just, we're all kind of doing the same things. We all get fall camp, we all get 29 opportunities and all that, so it's how we use those opportunities, how we conduct ourselves in meetings, and the fact that we can go out day after day and really get something done. We just don't want it to be any of those practices where it's, day 8, we're sore, we're tired, let's get through this. And we got to create some excitement where we're just continually getting better and learning something every day. And I think we all
noticed any players that are emerging as leaders at all?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we kind of put some onus on the seniors, and I think there's some leadership going on there. You know, I think they've done a great job in the weight room, Coach Sawha's process. Like I said, I think that process has been very different, but I think that those kids, you know, got stronger, got faster, and I think they felt it. I think they, you know, believe in it, you know, how he does things. And so I think all that was really good. That's kind of the foundation of this program, starts in that weight room.
You can't really see your guys for a few months after spring, and do you set conditioning goals and weight goals, and then is it kind of a feeling out process at first to see who came back ready to go, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, I think it's more of a, you know, an attitude effort type of situation rather than we're going to shoot for these numbers. We kind of do some testing in the spring to get some baseline, and I think a lot of those guys improved from where they were. But as we go forward there, you know, they had never had any of Coach Sawha's workouts, and so there's a little bit of you know they're going to be hard. There's a little bit of that feeling of like holding back. Let's kind of test the waters here, and that cannot happen. There's no testing the waters on anything, and so I think we got over that hurdle. Things started to go smooth and hard. I mean, it's hard out there, and I think those guys did a good job attacking. I think they're in really pretty good shape, but now we got to get into true football shape.
But, are there any players that are going to be limited or out to start with help?
No, not as we go in right now. You know, we'll kind of figure that out. You know, you're always going to get a guy that gets tweaked and those type of things. And, you know, Kaysen, we're hoping that he can go and roll. We'll kind of, you know, we're also going to be smart. If ankle gets sore, then we got to make sure we're building up. It's a long season. We're ready to go. But really, at this time, saying we're going.
When you're transitioning to a new program, new kids and all that, did you get any advice from anyone about pitfalls to avoid and things you have to make sure to take care of when you're coming new to a place that's already got a whole bunch of kids?
Not anybody coming to a new place. I mean, I think the things that we believe in terms of just the communication. You know, you just have to really over-communicate, I think, at all times, but certainly when you're new, and then to continually stay on those things that you want to be all about, and just really grind everybody till we're all on the same page. And it's part of that process that I'm talking about. It's not going to happen. You know, we've been here 6 months or whatever, and we're still not there, and we're not going to be there next week. We're going to be making progress, but it never stops. And I think when you start taking those things for granted, progress will stop.
What are some specific things with Troy and Jeff you saw in the spring, you left there for offense? You get a sense now from the began. How close one of those guys is to being started here?
Yeah, so since spring, I mean, I haven't seen him do one thing football-wise for the ball. So I'm anxious to see what that's going to look like. And I think those guys, I know those guys make progress. So